Hey Creed, can you take me higher?
Not much for a city boy, but the women I find in my sauce is soy. Can't call myself a countryman, cause I sit on my don't work my land. One of these days I'll give a damn. Till then, well, I am what I am. Just call me a New York redneck. Where's the banjo? Play that Bella Flag. Yeah. And I might be high class, but my liquor is more. They took my land, so it ain't my fault. Just call me a New York redneck. Ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. Finna bet on some horses at the track. Drive into Brooklyn, ain't never coming back. Tim's on the ground in the concrete jungle. I might get into a little rumble. Ain't nothing but a high-tailing man, bred on the farm, so I work with my hands. Just call me a New York redneck.
All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 9 of the Sportsman Dan Show. I like that morning recording for episode 8. However, we are recording at night. It is about 9 o'clock p.m. here, February 10th, 2026. I want to touch on a very important topic to me that I was thinking about on the drive home while listening to the Collectors MD podcast, which if you haven't heard, please check it out. But I think there's a whole group of collectors no one is really talking about: the middle-class sports card collector. Let me quickly establish what I mean by this. If you go on YouTube, if you go on TikTok, you're going to see people chasing $1,000 grails, people chasing $2,500 cards and up, 5-figure cards, 6-figure cards. It's awesome. We love seeing that content. That's not me. I'm not buying $1,000 cards. If you look at my showcase at a show, I mean, I might have 2 or 3 cards that are in the 4 figures. Maybe 2, maybe 1, honestly, maybe 0. Most of my cards are maxing out, $500. A lot of it is $100 or less. I'm looking to sell cards to people like me, middle-class collectors, which there are a lot of, but it doesn't really get the love in the hobby or people talking about as much as I see. We all see the people digging in dollar boxes and, finding some, superb deals, which is a lot of fun, and I encourage people to do that. But that's not me. I'm not grinding dollar boxes for hours like when I was a kid. I do love value boxes, but I'm looking for like the autograph and maybe some special game used relics of some older guys. Like, that's the kind of cards I want to collect. Nothing against people who have the money to spend on some ultra expensive cards, some super cool slabs. That's not me. Like, for example, I got this card for $30. Actually, I'm going to share real quick. Let me pull up a photo of it. All right, for those of you who only have the audio, this is a 2024 Leaf Trinity series, numbered 1 out of 49. It's the first, the one and only, a Fasten 8. It's an 8-player patch card, and it's all player worn. I'll get to that. Anyway, the 8 players are Ben Hess, Henry Lalane, Franklin Arias, Samuel Basallo, of course, from the Orioles, Bryce Cunningham from the Yankees, Peyton Tolle from the Red Sox, Theo Guillen, I believe, from the Blue Jays, and Trey Savage, of course, from the Blue Jays. Pretty cool patch. Again, if you're on audio and you can't see this card, the Basallo and the Savage are both tricolor patch, and what I mean by that is the Savage has the red, the blue, the white stripe, and then the white actual jersey material. The Samuel Basallo has the orange, the black stripe, and then also the white jersey material. It is a busy card with the 8 patches and the 8 players. There is a little space above each player. With a fine point Sharpie, I think you get in-person autos on this card. Well, I'll stop nerding out about the card. The point of this was a $30 buy off Reddit. I don't encourage people to buy cards off Reddit. It's a little sketchy. But this one worked out. $30. This is a middle class collector card, and I'm sure there's some other middle class collectors out there who would be like, "Yeah, I'd pay $30 for that card." Let me show you the back though. And I was gonna save this for the end because I have a question to pose with this card, but it kind of fit with the middle class collector. On the back, it says it's player worn memorabilia. I typically don't touch cards like this unless it is a game worn memorabilia. So let me know what you think. Is this player worn by Leaf worth having? Is it cool at all? Or are they just literally just cutting up pieces of some random jersey? Or do you trust that? I don't know. I thought it was a super, super cool card. Never seen it before, the first. I'll take a chance on that one. All right, an update here on the Drazen Petrovic in-person auto. I dropped it off for PSA submission. If you haven't heard about this card, check out the previous episode. But very briefly, TLDR, got an in-person auto faded that was through the mail from a reliable source at a card show. I sent it out for authentication through PSA. I'm going to be updating Professor Sports cards. I think he's doing a live right now. But anyway, I get it. It's risky, everyone. I was getting, not clowned, but some of the older guys in the hobby like to give me a hard time for purchasing that card. I still stand by my decision. We will see once the authentication gets back. It was from a reliable source. I've vetted it multiple times from multiple people. I've seen this guy around the hobby, excuse me, a lot. Other than the rare off chance that it is too faded to pass authentication, which I am a little worried about, I say 10 to 15%, I am overwhelmingly confident that it will pass PSA authentication. So I put it at like an 85% confidence meter there. I'm an econ guy, so I do like the numbers. It is hard to tell. Here's a little bit of a better photo for those of you on YouTube. If you were on audio, I encourage you to check on my Instagram, at SportsmanDanBC. There's some good photos of this. It is a faded auto, and you might be looking at this with a little question mark. Yes, it is a ballpoint pen. I touched on it in that other episode, but that was very popular for players signing cards in the early 90s. Sharpies were not as popular as they are today. So if you mailed in a card, which a lot of people did back then, and most players actually would sign it and mail it back to you, sort of free of charge. That was just sort of their service to fans. Anyway, you can see it says rookie card. Very faded, but if you know the Petrovic auto, it looks legit. What is cool about that submission is I also submitted that was through Collectible Kings over in Virginia Beach. I also submitted a Junior Caminero in-person autograph with a Uchida white ink on the just his base rookie paper base, but still, Junior hit 40 home runs last year. Fantastic player. Even cooler human being. I'll include a photo when I ran into him after the game at Harbor Park when I got the auto. But I sent that one out through B&B Sports Cards, also in Virginia Beach. Two great local card shops. But it'll be interesting to see the timing of both submissions and see which one actually comes back first. Now, I like both shops. It's more of a friendly competition for myself. And for those of you who are familiar with PSA, well, it is February 10th. Everyone knows the bad news, and you can blame it on inflation. I mean, that is today's economy. That would be fair, but they are raising prices. So I am lucky I got those submissions literally in as, they are changing their rates as we speak, so we will see. I don't think that's going to stop anyone from submitting. I'm not going to be doing a whole, detailed PSA submission breakdown. A lot of other people are actually doing that, and they are pretty good. I don't think it's going to hurt their submissions. I think people are still going to use PSA, and they're still going to pay more. So PSA is going to make more money like they always have when they raise their prices, and people are still going to submit because PSA graded cards give you the highest market value. I guess I am diving a little bit in the details a little bit too much. At the end of the day, I only sent out 2 cards for grading. Oh, I take that back, 4. I also sent off 2 Dylan Beavers, Bowman Chrome in-person autos. Dylan Beavers, I think, will blow up in 2026, so I wanted to get those in as well. So there's 4 cards total off for PSA submission, 1 through B&B, 3 through Collectible Kings in 2 separate orders. So I'm going to judge the one order of the Drosman Petrovic Auto versus the Junior Caminero Auto as sort of a 1v1 B&B versus Collectible Kings. Again, I think they're both fantastic local card shops, and I do frequent both. So there's no favoritism here, honestly. All right, quick plug. March 14th, I will be at the Sports Card Spectacular at the Norfolk Masonic Temple. This is the first ever Sports Card Spectacular at the Norfolk Masonic Temple. And actually, it was breaking news on the Sportsman Dan show when I interviewed Russ from 757 Card Shows. But seriously, this should be a super cool show. That Masonic Temple is really cool inside. They've only done Pokemon shows before, so I was kind of excited for the sports-only show. I'll be there set up. I'll have a lot of really, really cool middle-class collector stuff. My $5 box is growing. I might turn into a $10 box, excuse me. And I might bring out the soccer stuff. Is it too early for the World Cup soccer stuff? I've been sitting on some awesome Julian Alvarez, some Scottish guys, Scott McTierney. I knew I was going to screw up the names, so I'm going to Donnarumma from Italy. I know they didn't make the World Cup, but he's a fantastic keeper. Got a couple Messi, too. I know that guy's pretty good. I did play soccer back in high school, believe it or not. But anyway, come catch me at the show. Come say what's up. I'll be there. Cards, conversations, you don't have to buy anything. There's no weird energy there. I'm not just there for sales. You can honestly just come by and talk shop, talk sports, see what I have. I'm down to some trades. I always love trades. So show me what you got. See if there's anything you'd like. My showcase. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I should definitely have some cool pieces in there. One more thing I want to go over are my Chipper Jones cards I got for my brother. So if you didn't see my short, essentially my brother has a coworker who's been absolutely killing on the job. And he gave me a mission. He said, here's $20. I want you to go get the coolest Chipper Jones card you can. Well, I looked all around. For $20, there wasn't that value to get just one card. So I got him a nice little stack, of course. First year Chipper Jones Bowman, $2 here, right? For a Chipper Jones rookie card, pretty killer. So I threw that in the stack. Next one we have here, another Chipper Jones rookie. This was his upper deck, right? So now he's at the Bowman. He's at the upper deck rookie. Throw that in the stack. Next, this one was really cool. I really did like this card. Oh, sorry. That was the back of the upper deck one. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I had them all prepared, and then with StreamYard, I closed myself out of the stream. Look at that. The upper deck insert, Chipper Jones with the Braves. Let me go back to the back of the card. Just such a cool, upper deck, for all the hate they get, they really killed in the late 90s, in my opinion. I like most of their basketball stuff, but going through just trying to find some cool Chipper, this was another super cool one. I believe it's upper deck as well. The eye appeal and the pop. All right, so this is one I was most excited for. 1998 Topps Finest refractor. I don't believe it's a super refractor, and I know it's not the borderless, whatever. You get this graded, it's a $50 card. Super, super cool. Topps Finest. I know I keep saying cool. Topps Finest had a fantastic product in the late 90s. I know the value isn't there right now. To me, long term, it's gonna hold. These cards were the junk wax then, okay? What is everything being produced now? Tell me how this stuff isn't just as cool as a lot of the ultra modern. So that was my last segment there. I'm probably going to do a short going over the cards a little more. I think I missed one in there. But for $20 or less, trying to get a Chipper Jones and not get an auto, it was a fun little challenge. I want to do more of that. I want to get a little better. But including, the Bowman rookie, the upper deck rookie, and then you saw the Topps Finest. I guess I'm just a fool for Topps Finest. Overall, I think I did well. Let me know what you think. I had one other thing I want to cover. Cage. You guys all are familiar with Cage Lawyer, I'm sure. We talk about vintage and doesn't hold value. This is a 1974 Topps Julius Erving. It's a PSA 4. And I should just include the photo nice and clean like I did for all the other ones. This is a $20 or less card. $20 or less. I know it's a PSA 4, but a 1974 Dr. J, and he does not get the love in the hobby like he should. My dad growing up would go to Virginia Squires games at the Norfolk Scope. We don't have a professional sports team in Virginia anymore. And no, I don't want one in Northern Virginia. I want one in Hampton Roads, Virginia. But the fact that Dr. J, right, a 1974 ABA All-Stars, again, PSA 4. But even then, you look at a PSA 9, like the highest grade there is of that card in existence, goes for like $1,000. It's just not super valuable for a guy that should be. Now, am I spending $1,000 on that PSA 9? No, but you should. If you have $1,000 to spend, I would, because I just don't understand how Dr. J is this cheap. Now, again, I mentioned Cage. He did a great job. Kids today don't want the older guys. That's not exciting. They want the younger guys to go and collect. But for someone like me, okay, I'm 30. I do respect the legends. I like the young kids too. I think you got to find that balance. A little bit of vintage, a little bit of ultra modern. I don't know. Watch some minor league baseball. Do a little prospecting. That's what I do. So I don't know. Y'all keep collecting. Have fun. And I'll be back with episode 10 soon. Thank y'all for listening. And please, check me out on Spotify if you haven't already. It would mean a lot. Thank you.
Hey Creed, can you take me higher?
Not much for a city boy, but the women I find in my sauce is soy. Can't call myself a countryman, cause I sit on my don't work my land. One of these days I'll give a damn. Till then, well, I am what I am. Just call me a New York redneck. Where's the banjo? Play that Bella thing. Yeah. And I might be high class, but my liquor is more. They took my land, so it ain't my fault. Just call me a New York redneck. Ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. Finna bet on some horses at the track. Drive into Brooklyn, ain't never coming back. Tim's on the ground in the concrete jungle. I might get into